Alright, I'm going to do a fun jersey video this morning to start things off, because why not? Not a whole lot going on in the news side of things with hockey, but it's still early, so guys can sign, contracts can happen. You guys know how this works. So I'm going to talk a little bit of jersey talk for the beginning of today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my Adidas. This row here is all Adidas. It is in alphabetical order, and the plan is that I'm going to be retooling the set before the end of the month, but it just basically means making more room and trying to find a way to make sure that it all balances out. So I'm going to have fun with that. I've already basically told my wife I'm really going to need her help with that. Now, I want to go through all 31 teams. I'm just going to go through the home jerseys because basically designs are all the same between home and away. Home and away, there is no real variation between them now. There was a time where you'd see minor variations, but nothing major. So with Anaheim, their jersey's actually really clean. I like it a lot. There was a top 31 list that I got tagged in where The Athletic put out, a list of 31 best jerseys in the league, and I went, no. But again, I'm not going to go out and insult the guy that made up that list. I just look at that list and go, no, I don't agree. The internet's whole, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, it's a matter of taste. So my matter of taste is I like the jersey. The one thing is the stripes on the side. Is one thing I've never been a huge fan of with hockey jerseys is the stripes along the sides. The sleeves are okay, even though they're on an angle too. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever see a big change with Anaheim jerseys. I know that there are people who want to see that Mighty Ducks logo come back. I don't know that they'll ever go back to that as a full time. I think it's more fun to do that on special occasions and with their jerseys. Now, the only thing that might be more disrespected than the Arizona fan base, and there is one, is their jersey. Their jersey was ranked really low on the list that I saw too. Now, I admit, the Kachina looks great, but again, the Kachina I think works as a special occasion thing. One thing with the new Adidas, okay, is that the stitching on the logo is really nice, and this is a suede material. This is actually in a suede. It's really nice, and it's something that makes it unique from all the other jerseys. I do like the patch on the sleeves. I honestly, I think it's a really nice one. I don't think they'll make any changes to it. So this is kind of just going through all 31 teams, and the designs are I think, really solid overall. So that's why we can have such huge, wildly differing opinions on which jerseys are nice and which ones aren't. I also do like the color of this Arizona jersey. So in general, it's a much nicer jersey when you have it and you see it in person than when you see it on TV. At least that's how I feel. Likely because of the suede. The suede is just absolutely fantastic. This one's iconic, of course. This is your Boston Bruins. What I like with the Boston Bruins current jersey is it has elements from most of their classic jerseys. So I don't see them ever making a major change with it. It's just really sharp as it is. This, of course, is 2019 finals patch. No, it doesn't say Cup champion. Every now and then people see that and go, "So you think they won the Cup in 2019?" No, there's a live stream that shows I know they didn't win the Cup in 2019. That just says Stanley Cup Finals, the patch they were during the finals. And I was really proud of the team for making it to the finals. So, there you go. Boston Bruins. Now, we know that Buffalo's going to change back to their original color next season. I've always liked their logo. This is a fun logo. This is an actual jersey. He changed his number from 15 to 9. Somebody made a comment, and last time I wore this in a video saying, that's not a real jersey. He doesn't wear number 15. You got a fake. He changed numbers. I still don't like numbers on the fronts of jerseys. I don't. You don't see them in game. I don't like numbers on the fronts of jerseys. You've already got it on the side, on the sleeve, and on the back. And it's just, that's four 15s on this jersey. And I don't, because if they really added a lot of value, you'd see them on the front of all the jerseys. But you just see them on the front of Buffalo's, which just makes it kind of weird and makes it busy. Flames, I do think that while I like this jersey, I like this logo. I've always liked wearing Flames gear. I think they're going to have to change back to their old style. So they've worn a red Heritage jersey. They've worn a white Heritage jersey, the throwbacks. And again, the weird stripes along the side, which I've never understood. I much prefer the horizontal stripes around the bottom. But it's yeah, it's just weird. Both Anaheim and Calgary have that kind of thing going on. But I do think they'll change back to their old 80s design, which is what those throwbacks are meant to remind us of. And as much as I like this, I do think they'll switch back. So while Buffalo is going back to their original color, the royal blue, and Calgary, I think, goes back to the heritage jerseys as being their main jerseys. This is the only one where I could see a major change taking place. Tom Dundon, their road jerseys with canes across the front, that's a dramatic departure from what they've had before. I could see him targeting this one next and deciding he's going to do something different with it. And I'm thinking either now it might be something minor. It might be maybe the shoulders black and you put the double flag on the shoulder, right? Or maybe you make the double flag the main logo and this becomes the secondary. I could see something like that happening, and maybe some dramatic change where you still have the flags, but maybe you have the heathering on the sleeve like you have on the third jersey, something along those lines. This is the one that I think you could see a big change with. So Chicago already made their change where they took the white from here on the neckline and just had it go to here, and that's it. There's not going to be any other major changes. The nicest thing, of course, with Chicago is the chain stitching on the logo. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, this is an iconic jersey. I don't see it being changed. One jersey that they've got right now is Colorado's. I could see them changing a third. I could see them bringing the foot back on the shoulder, maybe. But honestly, they just switched over to the C's not that long ago. So I think the odds of the foot coming back, unless it's on a third or a throwback, I really do. I've come to appreciate the Colorado jersey and their style and the logo, even though the logo is the exact same color as the background, and it would be possible for the logo to get washed out by the jersey a little bit, but it really doesn't. Sharp color contrast in the jersey, and I don't see them making any changes at any point. The third is always up for debate, but the main jersey is pretty sharp. Columbus, I always argue in favor of the Cannon being the main jersey, their third. I'm going to say this, though. Columbus has a really nice looking jersey. The jerseys that I think are nicer than I expected when I bought them, when I ordered them online, Columbus is one of them, and Arizona being the other one. Tampa Bay on some level as well, their current design especially. Columbus has a nice jersey. I love that Cannon jersey so much that I would be willing to see this become a third or just be like a specialty throwback jersey at some point. But it is very nice. It is very nice, and the flag wrapping around the star, and it is sharp. So I mean, I just really like the Cannon. That's why I was talking about, can we make the Cannon the main jersey? Dallas is kind of perfect. This is jersey. I honestly, it's fantastic. No complaints. Perfect. Can't see any reason to change anything on it. It's even got the stripes around the bottom like I like it. I've always been torn on the Detroit jersey, however, because I kind of find it boring. I know it's iconic. I know it's classic. I know it's an original six, and an original six will always have this reaction from fans of that team. But to me, it's just kind of, I don't know. I'd like to see them do something different with it. I know they'll never change the main jersey. There's been talk of a third jersey that would have black as an element in it, which makes people lose their minds. And I get that because, of course, black is the go-to. There's a reason black's the go-to, though. And again, Detroit, it just, I don't know. To me, it feels like there's more to it. It's sort of like when they had the throwback jersey, and it had the silver. So the Red Wing was done in silver rather than white. It just looked so nice. And it just made me think, there's so much more that I think could be done with Detroit. Not that it's going to be, but anyways, I know it's iconic. I know it's not going to change. I'm just saying personally for myself, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing some more color in it. Friends don't let friends wear this orange. Friends don't let their teams have this orange. Now, this is a Talbot that I got through Sport Check. Most of my jerseys, though, come from Ben H. Sports, which people know. But I throw it out there, and of course, I'll go ahead and throw in a plug for them where it's if you email them rather than go directly through eBay, then you save 10%. So there it is. You got that? All right. That being said, yeah, this orange is so bright. I don't know why the NHL decided, hey, you know what? We need day glow orange. We need our players to look like they should be out working in road construction. It's bizarre to me, and I think if they went with a burnt orange or something that's not so eye gougingly bright, I think they'd look a lot better. I still much prefer the Oilers blue jersey. I apologize, but I would love to see them go back to the blue one full time. I was not a big fan of the rebrand for the Panthers when they did it at first, but I have to say the logo does look like Joel Quenneville. Quenneville's been hired to be their coach. Story checks out. It's an overall sharp design. I understand the complaints that it rips off the Montreal Canadiens with the stripe. Oh, there's a lot of jerseys out there that do that, so it's not that unusual. And honestly, it's got a unique enough color palette that I don't think it's that big of a deal. If it's possible for a team to have both the best jersey history and probably the ugliest as well, it might be LA's. LA's had some really ugly jerseys and they've had some beautiful jerseys. I don't qualify this as ugly or beautiful. I think it's okay. I think, when they decided, well, we're going back to the Raiders colors, I thought, why does it have to be Lakers or Raiders colors? Why don't what happened to the purple and black? So I'm still in that area where I'm thinking, if you don't want to bring the shield back, fine, but the purple and black colors were really kind of the best colors because it was something different. It wasn't Lakers, it wasn't Raiders, it was kind of both smashed together. I mean, yeah, we could argue further about which colors the Kings should use, but I don't know. It's okay. I don't know about the LA and giant. I never understood why everybody got mad about the word mark of Vancouver over the Canucks logo, and then you got this giant LA in here, which to somebody who doesn't follow hockey might go, why does it say La Crown? What's La Crown? Oh, it's an ad for Crown whiskey. I could use. Let's go get some. All kidding aside, I could definitely go for some Apple Crown right now. But yeah. To me, it's just kind of a little boring when you look at some of their other jerseys. So that's why, for me, I'd like to see them go with something a little more LA than this. And if that makes, even though there's a giant LA on it, you know what I mean. I know when this one came out, there were Minnesota fans that didn't like it. I love it. I think this is fantastic. The list I was looking at from The Athletic, the guy had Minnesota at 28th out of 31, and I thought, what? No. There are elements on this you could change. You could take this M here and change that. There are elements to the jersey, this red in here, but still, I know it's not as nice on some level as the red jersey they had before with the Minnesota Wild logo and the circle and all that. But the reality is, this is still, for me, it's a sharp jersey. Again, you've got the stripe that Montreal fans could go, hey, that's ours, and it doesn't go around the back, so it's just on the front. But I really like this jersey, and Minnesota green works for that franchise and for that state. You look back to the North Stars, always wore green until they wore the black ones just before they left town. But yeah, I do like this one, and I'd be very surprised if they made any major changes to it. Montreal home jerseys have LNH on here because it's French. It's NHL in French. LNH. So I'm just throwing that in at the beginning. I find it weird that everybody freaked out about Chicago with the white all the way around the neck, but nobody said the same thing about Montreal. It's the exact same neckline. And I don't see any reason to change anything with the Montreal jersey. Obviously, the logo's iconic. Everything's iconic with Montreal. And again, I go back to my Detroit argument where it's just kind of a little bit plain and it's not broken up. This is not a plain logo design and jersey design in general. And again, it's iconic. Hey, I might be a Bruins fan, but I'm not ridiculous about it. This is absolutely gorgeous. No, I can't. It's been years now, and I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow. The marigold color doesn't, just on its own without anything breaking it up. Like the Reeboks at least had the stripes, the kind of claw looking, teeth looking things on the side. Something different to break it up a little bit. Just the plain yellow, it's like, I don't know, it's too much. I am still a huge fan of the Nashville Predators in blue. I'm going to say this, though. This is going to be their design, I would think, for a long time to come. I do really like the piano keys in here. I think that's really nice. And, of course, the guitar pick on the shoulder. There are design elements to this that I like. I love the logo. The logo is great. It's huge, but it's a great logo. I'm not a fan of, it hasn't grown on me. You'd think maybe it did, but it just really, really didn't. I know Nashville fans don't like us for that, but I say us because, my wife talks about how she doesn't like their jerseys, and I'm just not a huge fan of all the gold on them either. But again, I have a blue Predators jersey, which I like, and that blue third they had with like the checkerboard design a lot around the bottom, that was absolutely gorgeous. New Jersey has an iconic design. They really haven't changed very much since they came into the NHL. They went from red and green to red and black. I'm still not a huge fan of the striping on the jerseys. When they changed the striping when they went over to Adidas, I was bewildered at the time. I still am. I still much prefer the professional the striping design they had before this. And now I don't know. It's a great jersey. It's a fantastic logo. The logo is absolutely amazing. I'm just not a huge fan of the stripes, and I never understood. I still don't understand why that's. I understand. Like they're like, well, it's a throwback to like Colorado and Kansas City. Nobody asked for a throwback. Even Kansas City and Colorado were like, no, you didn't really need to do that because it wasn't exactly a great time in our history. And yeah, the design, I just feel like there are a couple little tweaks they could make to make it better, but it's a great design. Yes, I know. I got this jersey for dirt cheap. I got it through Lids before Fanatics bought them. And I know it's a Tavares. I'm aware. I haven't bought another blank or anything because, again, if I'm going to buy a blank right now, the cheapest I could find was like $120. And I'm like, do I want to pay $120 just for one with a name on the back when I paid less than that for the one with Tavares on the back? And eventually, Islander fans will be perfectly fine with it saying Tavares on the back, right? Eventually. Someday. Now, the design itself, and I honestly, I have talked about how I'm not a huge fan of the Islanders logo, but it is the best logo that the franchise has had. When you look at all the thirds they've tried and the way they've tried to rebrand themselves over the years, Fisherman and all that, this is still their best look. It's their best style. And yeah, I really don't have anything bad to say about it. I really don't. I don't see any reason the Islanders ever change from this unless somebody at some point runs the team that goes, that Fisherman thing, why don't we bring that back? I'm not a huge fan of word marks, but again, original 6 means iconic. This is a JT Miller. I got it, and then he ends up being a Canuck. Great, awesome news. People wonder why I've started getting jerseys with names on the back. Yeah, I'm thinking ahead. All right, who do I want the Canucks to get next? Because I got a Tyler Myers as well, and then he became a Canuck. So yeah, it's a wonderful JT Miller jersey. Honestly, with the Rangers, the only thing I would change if I had any say in it, I'd bring back the old 70s design with the coat of arms on the front, the shield on the front. Yeah, it's just a shield, not a coat of arms. The shield on the front, and I really like that jersey, even though Rangers fans at the time apparently hated it. So yeah, if they stay with this, that's perfectly fine too. I do like the way that Adidas does the letters on these jerseys. I think they look really nice. And again, it's iconic, right? It's funny, the jerseys sometimes that I get that are cheap, I like the ones with the captain on the front. Carlson. So this is the one jersey that we know there's a redesign coming. Ottawa was in the midst of trying to figure out a redesign and getting public feedback on it. And then they started to fall apart. And the team wisely decided not to do a rebrand during some sort of rebuilding process, thus realizing the mistake that the New York Islanders made back in the late 90s. That's a big part of what happened with that. So we will see some sort of a rebrand. I don't know if this logo gets retired or if they completely change the jersey. My bet is it'll be some form of this logo that becomes the main logo. I mean, they'll go back. I would think they'll go back to the classic O like the original franchise had. But I will say this: the gold on this logo is really, really sharp, and they really did get it right. I mean, the Scooby-Doo eyes on the other one that I have from before this design, as much as I liked it at the time, the Scooby-Doo eyes are very distracting and off-putting. And it is a sharp overall design. But yeah, I can see the need for some sort of a rebrand, and I'm wondering how that's going to look. Back to the Day Glow Orange, and it's the Flyers. So if you're of the mind that the Flyers should use the style of jersey and the color of orange they had during the Lindros era, you're not alone. I agree. I think that would be nice, and yet I do love the logo. People know how much I love the Flyers logo and their overall look in general, but I think more could be done with the orange. I think you could make the orange a shade darker, but do I think they're going to do it? Probably not. The year the Adidas jersey started being made, Marc-Andre Fleury was already gone, so it's weird that I have a Fleury Adidas, right? Again, I got this one through Full Moon Jerseys, because it's bizarre, but I had to get it because I'm like, wait, Marc-Andre Fleury Penguins? But he'd already, at the time these jerseys came out, he was already, so anyways. The Penguins have a fantastic logo. They have a solid design. They've toyed around with changing the design over the years, and it comes right back where it started, much like I think it will with Calgary as well. For Pittsburgh, it really is a solid overall design. The one difference between the jerseys they wore way back when and now, the logo is gigantic. The logo's great on the San Jose jersey. Everything's great on the San Jose jersey. The one quibble I have is there's nothing to break up the teal anywhere on it. I'm used to the stripes around the bottom, and I liked it better with the black yoke on the shoulders. But I do like the vicious looking shark on the shoulder. That's nice. And then on the away jersey, the SJ that it has on it as well is really nice. So the overall design's fine. I just wish there was something more to break up all that empty space there. But again, the logo looks pretty sharp. They won't change this. That won't happen. They got this one right too. There is no need to change this. Every now and then I'll see people saying, oh, they should go back to their 60s style full time. No. That 90s one is nice. Agreed. I wear it a lot, but don't ever change this. I love the two-tone blue. I love the gold on it. Well, marigold. This is fantastic. St. Louis has got it right. Don't ever touch it. Okay, Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay does borrow their striping style from Detroit, and they do borrow colors from Toronto. But what I really like with this jersey, and I've talked about this before, is that the white is the logo, and the blue part, which used to be part of the logo as well, is now actually there's nothing. It's just the fabric. It honestly makes such a huge difference to have the logo cut out like that, and just the white is stitched on there. It makes it so nice. I don't know what else to say about it. It is really fantastic. Their previous logos, I hadn't seen one where this was fabric. I always had it where this was, again, part of the logo that gets stitched on. And it's such a minor difference, and yet to me it makes a huge difference. I'm not a huge fan of the black third. I don't really like the black third. I wear it because it's a conversation piece to wear it in a video, right? But I do like this. I think this is fantastic. I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of a throwback. I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of, yes, a black third, but something with a little more color in it than their current black third has. Like I said, the coloring's exactly the same. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, what is there to say? Toronto got it right. When they went back to this style of logo, away from the one they had in the Harold Ballard era, perfect, good, excellent. Anytime they had some form of a throwback logo, I liked it. And just the overall design is sharp. It has enough throwback elements that I'm a big fan. And yeah, I can't really say anything bad about this. I know it was number one on that list on The Athletic. I wouldn't put it at number one, but it's a pretty solid design. Vancouver just had their redesign. I know there were people who were disappointed because Vancouver didn't go to the old skate or the stick-in rink. There's the arguments for both. I'm not going to argue for either. I think this is the iconic look for the Canucks for good. I don't think they ever change. This, of course, is one of two Pettersson jerseys I have. The Adidas skate jerseys of Pettersson as well. And, of course, if you're looking for this 50th logo, I can only find it on jerseys from the Canucks store. Once this season's officially done, this logo may become available elsewhere. Now, you may be able to get knockoffs of it as well, but even with patches, I would be kind of wary of knockoffs. Honestly, taking out the word mark definitely helped. But I think this is going to be the Canucks jersey for good. And honestly, I'm in favor of that. I know there's other Canuck fans that aren't, but I'm in favor of that. Vegas got it right out of the gate. Their first jersey is fantastic. The third jersey comes out soon, and we'll see how that looks. The rumors are it's going to be gold, but Vegas got it right. This secondary logo is fantastic. And yeah, there really isn't anything bad to say about the Vegas jersey in my eyes. The gold on the sleeve is just absolutely fantastic. That's absolutely gorgeous design. And yeah, they did a good job. One of the things that it's good to see a new team do is to have a design that you believe could be an old traditional hockey jersey that doesn't look like it's a brand new team. And sometimes with jerseys, when a team first comes in, Ottawa, their first jersey was kind of meh, and Tampa Bay's first jersey wasn't the most attractive. And yeah, this one they got right. I think Florida got it right out of the gate as well. I think Florida had a really nice, simple, very traditional hockey-looking design to their jersey. Ducks really didn't. They really didn't. So if somebody's going to say, well, the Ducks had that too. Nah, not really. But yeah, I like this, and I know there's been some talk about how the gray is kind of bland, or the gray kind of just blends. I know even the owners said that the gray, as much as he likes this jersey, the gray kind of blends in. It's nice. It's nice to see a different color as the primary color for a team. So I hope they don't change their primary color at some point, because if they change it to black or they change it to some really bold color, but it's a color they share with another team, don't go to Dayglow Orange ever. And you know, I think this is a solid one. I'm still not sure what the red does. It's the one thing I've always wondered with Vegas jerseys. I've never quite understood this red stripe in here. It doesn't really do anything. You could lose the red stripe and you could have this stripe be black, and I think it would look just as good, but that's just me. And we're up to Washington, so we're almost done. Don't you worry. The Washington Capitals, this has the 2018 Stanley Cup final patch, because the 2019 one wouldn't make any sense, would it? And this is the Washington Capitals in red, and honestly, it's nice, but I've never been a huge fan of that font. I know, it's going out on a limb, isn't it? I prefer the old font, the original font. The throwback jerseys I like. I don't understand why this beautiful eagle on the shoulder has never graced the front of a jersey at any point. You could take that eagle and you could put it in the corner, and you could change the style of the logo a little bit. They've messed with it before. I know the Capitol Building jersey was one that a lot of people didn't necessarily like. I did. I thought it was something different, a departure. And I was always a big fan of the eagle as a main logo. They had the eagle, not this design of eagle, but they had an eagle as their main logo in the late 90s. I thought it looked nice. So again, you know, I did say this was a boring logo. I did have this at the bottom of the logo rankings that people got mad about. But this is fantastic. So I'd love to see some kind of change. That being said, they won a Stanley Cup wearing this jersey. When a team wears a Stanley Cup, or wears the jersey and wins the Stanley Cup, very often that design won't be seen to change for at least a while. Really shouldn't. And yet I'm thinking back to the Penguins in the 90s, who, They decided to make a change after winning a Stanley Cup, and I was like, I don't know, that seems like a bad idea. And then they didn't win cups with that other design. So anyways, yeah, I would love to see the Capitals make some sort of a change, but I don't think that they will. And we end with the Jets, which of course I'm wearing a Hockey Fights Cancer jersey that I got through Ben H Sports. And a Blake Wheeler jersey here that I got through Ben H Sports. So I've got a Mark Scheifele jersey. Scheifele and Wheeler are two of my favorite members of the Jets. It turns out that when you're married to a Jets fan, you will probably have some more fandom for that team. At least it's worked that way for me. Although I wasn't really anti-Jets anyways. Now, this jersey, I like the blue one. The white one has some confusing stripes on it. I do like the blue one. I wasn't a huge fan of it initially, but yeah, it's a pretty nice one overall. And again, I don't ever see the Jets necessarily making a change, although If they did decide to take those heritage jerseys of theirs and make that their main logo and design again, I don't know that anybody would hold that against them. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will do this again. I'll probably go through third jerseys. And I've discussed third jerseys before that I'd like to see the NHL bring in, or like old designs I'd like to see come back. So I'll do videos on that as well. But from now until then, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, remember, stay home where you can. And again, those are changing now. We're in a time where it seems like things are changing a little bit and things are being relaxed. So go out, enjoy the sun, do so in as safe a manner as possible. And hey, thank you guys again for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.